Hi everybody, welcome to Live with Chaudhry. I'm here at ASMS in Minneapolis. I'm delighted to be joined by Yury Tsybin from Spectroswiss, and we're going to find out a bit more about Spectroswiss and what they're talking to delegates about this week at ASMS. So first of all, Yury, it's lovely to see you. How are you?
Good morning, Rizwan and everyone. It's been really great so far in Minneapolis. It's going to be even better. We have more things to discuss, to talk about. And already these first days have shown how much people want to bring to share with each other and how we are happy to see each other, right? It's been a long time. Even Philadelphia was great and not far away, but it was not a full kind of meeting. And here we see more people, and it's really, really nice to be back. And the meeting has been super productive, even starting from Sunday, which normally is not as productive, but even this year is really, from day one, we see lots of interest, lots of discussions. People are charged to do more work and to cooperate with each other. So it's been very nice. And we have already seen fantastic talks and posters, both from Spectroswiss and from other companies, and of course academia, and it's been really, really nice.
Fantastic. Well, look, Yury, you preempted me there by already answering what I was going to ask you, was how ASMS went. So that's fantastic. So for those people not familiar with Spectroswiss though, can you give me an overview of the business?
Right, so Spectroswiss is a small company coming from a very good technical university from Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Lausanne in Switzerland. So we are tourists here coming from Europe, but we are regular tourists, so it's already our 8th ASMS, and what we do is to help people do mass spectrometry, specifically high-resolution mass spectrometry better, which means that those people who use Orbitrap mass spectrometers or ICR mass spectrometers, using our hardware and software, can improve the performance and productivity of the instruments, and that way they can improve the workflows and the outcomes of these workflows, such as number of peptides, proteins, metabolites identified or quantified. So all these closed workflows, starting from data acquisition, going to the software for data processing and data analysis. And that is our main area, how to acquire the unreduced data from the FTMS instruments, that is a big data, and how to process this data so that people get the best results possible out of this data. So that is our main interest, main development axis. And what we bring here today is the next generation of the products for these developments.
Before we start that though, Yury, let me ask you a question though. You mentioned that obviously you work to help enhance people who use the Orbitraps. So my question to you is that any maker of Orbitrap that you work with then? So regardless of vendor, you can help those users?
Well, absolutely any vendor of Orbitrap, especially because there's only one vendor, that is Thermo Fisher Scientific, and that kind of simplifies our work. On the other hand, Thermo is releasing new models, even more interesting models, almost every year, and we are happy to work with all these models that are present on the market, and those as well that are already gone out of the market, but people still are happy to use those instruments that's been in the field for already more than a decade.
And what about though the fact that Thermo are constantly releasing new software as well? So how compatible is yours, and how does it complement the software releases that Thermo bring out?
So our products work in parallel with Thermo products. So Thermo is, or Orbitraps, they produce data and this processed by Thermo software, and our software is processing our data that is acquired in parallel and independently from Thermo software. And the difference is, what is the starting point? Our starting point is really the unreduced data, and what people receive from Thermo software is a reduced data already. So the difference is in the information that people can get out from the instruments. The unreduced data, what we work with, is heavier, at least 10 times heavier, and that's why it takes different types of software to work with it. But the result as well can be better for specific applications, and that's what we are focusing on.
Fantastic. Now you were about to show me some of the instruments and software that you've got here at the show, so let's have a look at that.
Please welcome.
So what is the instrument you've got there then?
So to get access to the unreduced data from Orbitraps or ICR FTMS, we need to acquire the so-called time domain transients. And this device here, which we call the FTMS Booster, is aimed to do exactly that. So we use it to get the time domain data, to digitize it. So the device includes amplifiers, digitizers, and that is a new generation of the instrument that allows today to transfer the data super quickly from this little box to your workstation using the new Thunderbolt technology. So that's the difference with the prior instruments that we had on the market, and those that you can see multiple presentations here at ASMS. So this is a new generation, smaller with a faster data transfer by Thunderbolt. And here you can see an example of a real-world operation of an Orbitrap. And this is a LCMS Proteomics experiment with a TMT protein quantitation. Here you can see the time domain transients scan to scan, and the corresponding mass spectra is shown in red at the bottom panel. So that's how the experiments run, and that's how we can detect them. And once you have this time domain data, you can do a lot of different software operations with that and achieve better sensitivity, better dynamic range and resolution. So the possibilities are practically endless.
You mentioned though that obviously the data you bring out is particularly useful for certain applications and workflows. So what applications and workflows is it specifically helpful with?
Right. So these are the applications that we particularly target with our software tools, and they relate to specific ones. For example, imaging. And for imaging, we have this so-called mosaic software, beautiful, right. And imaging on Orbitraps is becoming more and more interesting, and more users are doing that, but the software is still missing, and that's one of the interesting applications.
Right.
And other applications include complex mixture analysis, where you really need very high performance. And that's what we do also in a direct infusion mode, in the LC mode. And finally, another very complex applications, top-down proteomics. It's analysis of antibodies, monoclonal antibodies, intact mass analysis, top-down, middle-down. So everything where the complexity of the data is very high, that's where we go. If the complexity of the data is not very high, the usual software tools can solve the problems very nicely. But where the complexity is high, where you have many peaks, or you need to really deliver a very high spectral dynamic range, that's where we are coming. So we are really going for very challenging applications.
And that's obviously very appropriate and topical at this moment, with so many people now looking at advanced therapies and so on, and therefore they are far more complex in terms of what they need to look at as well, isn't it?
That is correct, and not only that, but also the sensitivity. People looking for single cells, and to look for single cell you have fewer and fewer material to look at. So therefore increases in all analytical characteristics are very important.
Great, and I see your colleague there demonstrating something on the other screen. So what is he talking about?
Let's ask them. Colleagues, could you please tell us what you show? Is it what application you're looking into?
So this is small molecules analysis, metabolomics workflow. Here we just analyze some steroids acquired with the Orbitrap instrument. Here example of very nice liquid chromatography,
right.
And feature detection. So this is very interactive software. It allows you to get immediately to look into the data, to perform the averaging. So this is tool really cool for the manual curation and manual validation of your data.
Fantastic.
And as the output, primarily the workflow is a quantitation.
Right.
So it's identification, annotation, and quantitation. So that's one of the new products that we bring this year. So metabolomics applications, very important. And somehow there is still a room for improvement there. And that's what we realized, and that's what we're bringing here. So metabolomics is now one of our very interesting new products that we are bringing here.
Brilliant. Well, Yury, thank you for giving me that overview. It's been really interesting to learn more about the products and the software. And as I said, it's obviously of the moment as we speak, because this is the area that everyone is focused on. I've been to all the press conferences yesterday for all the big instrument manufacturers, and this is obviously the space they're looking to play in even more so over the next few years. So if people want to know more, obviously come to your booth, and your booth number, I can see it's on the floor, is 601. then come and meet you here. You mentioned you have a poster here as well, is that correct?
Well, absolutely. Today we have several posters presented by Spectroswiss colleagues. I'm giving a talk in the very interesting session that's called the Unconventional Approaches. Also, it's to honor Graham Cooks. It's on Thursday morning. And I will talk about the extremely low ion counting with Orbitraps, because Orbitraps are fantastic instruments and we are still really revealing what they can do more and more and bring us more. In addition, we have several partners and customers who have already given talks and will give talks. Yesterday, Ian Campuzano from Amgen gave a fantastic talk about the application of our larger FTMS boosters for the biopharma applications. And today we have our partner from Boston University, from group of Katie Costello, talking about the use of the boosters for the applications in glycoproteomics analysis, how to improve the glycan analysis, and so on and so forth. We have other partners who will talk through the week, and some posters as well. So yes, it's the program is full with lots of very interesting activities, and we look forward to talk to our friends, customers, colleagues, and to new ones and old ones, and as well to all our friends and partners and potential new business partners from this exhibit floor.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for that. There you go, viewers. So if you're here at ASMS, check out booth 601, check out the posters, listen to Yury's talk tomorrow, check out their partners as well. We'll put as much detail in the post as well so you can find out. If people can't make it to this particular show, Yury, where else are you going to be?
We usually go to the FTMS specific workshops and conferences. So we will be in Lisbon in the European FTMS meeting in July, and we're gonna be, of course, at the International Mass Spectrometry Conference in Maastricht in the end of August, and so on and so forth. And of course, we'll be back at ASMS. It's our ASMS number 8. We do not miss any of them, and we really like this meeting, and it's really one of the headlines of the years for us, always.
Fantastic. Well, there you go, viewers. So you can meet Spectroswiss, Yury and the team at those other events. And if they can't make those events, Yury, where else can they get more information?
We have a very nice website at spectroswiss.ch, not .com, but you can also use .com, but we are coming from Switzerland, so that's .ch. And of course, we are on LinkedIn and Twitter.
Brilliant. Well, Yury, it was lovely to meet you. Good luck with the rest of the talks and the posts in the show. I wish you lots of success. I'm sure you will do, because as I said, it sounds like a great product and it's of the moment as well. There you go, viewers. If you'd like to know more, come to the booth, chat with Yury and the team, check out the talks, go to the website. And until next time, as always, stay well and stay safe. Bye-bye.